Alright, so today we are going to do a couple pieces of furniture that are Barbie scale so that we can use the Zuru My Mini Babies as Barbie's newborn baby. Alright, so this will be the crib I am going to be using. You can get the link to this in the description box. It's going to be titled Dollhouse Accessories. Alright, so first I just wanted to do a comparison of the cribs that the mini babies come in a comparison to the mini babies to a full-size Barbie doll. Now this is actually a size that a newborn baby would be compared to the Barbie, so I just wanted to include that comparison there, and the comparison I'm going to be doing for the crib versus what the mini baby comes in. As you can see, this crib is way too small compared to the Barbie. This crib is actually perfect for the size of the Barbie. So we are going to redo this crib to match the bedroom in here. And then to see the comparison of the baby inside the crib, it's going to look like that. So not too big and definitely not too small. Actually the perfect size for a newborn baby in a crib, because you know cribs aren't going to be as tight as this one where the baby has no room to move. So this is actually the perfect size for the mini baby. So this is the crib we're going to remake, and those are just some size comparison and why I'm remaking this crib instead of using the mini baby crib. Okay, so you're gonna start off by taking just like a paring or a crafty knife, and you're just going to kind of go around the mattress of this, because the mattress is glued in, but you want to take this out. So I've already did that and went around. You may have to glue some parts that come up or whatever, but once you take that mattress out, there is going to be like some glue here. You're just going to take your crafty knife again and kind of get all that glue out from inside of the crib. So you're going to put this to the side because you are going to use this as the actual mattress. And then you're just going to have this here. Now if you have a boy baby, obviously you can take this off and change the color, or if you don't like this bedding, you can obviously take this off and change the design as well. But we're going to actually use this design, so we're just going to set this aside, and now we have this. What we're going to do next is, this is actually a working mechanism for the crib to go up and down. We do not want to get paint on any part of this, so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure it's all the way down, and then we're going to tape it up. So we're going to tape the gold part up before we start our paint. All right, y'all, so boom, we taped that all off, and as you can see, even on the top, the gold is taped off on there as well. Now what this crib has on the side is these beads. We do not want to paint those beads, so we're going to cover those up with painter's tape as well. Alright, so then you're going to cover those beads up however you do, and now you can go ahead and paint. I am going to use spray paint, and as you've seen prior, I'm spray painting it black. So you can go ahead and do that once these areas have been taped off. Make sure they are taped off before you start spray painting it. And if you guys are anything like me, then you did not tape that very well, and you might have gotten some black paint onto the gold part, which is fine. All you're gonna use is some acetone and like a nail file, and you'll get that right off with those two items. I had to do that. I already cleaned my gold part up, and then after that you are going to seal it with a sealant. What I use is some It's basically water-based sealer. It is in gloss. I use this because I want this to be waterproof in case there is something on there. You will be able to clean it off without cleaning the gloss off or without messing it up. So that is what I use as my sealant, which is why it is a little shiny, because it does have a glossy look to it. And then here's the crib inside of the bedroom. Now the next item we're going to do is we're going to do a sitting down changing table. Because this height wise is too small for the Barbie height wise, it's going to be like a changing table where you can sit down and change the baby. This was actually a desk that I had bought that was way too big for a dollhouse, and so I'm just going to use it for a changing table for the Barbie's baby. As you can see, it does have some shelves that you are going to need to take out, and also you're going to need to take out the rolling shelf where you see the keyboard is at. You're going to start off by taking all of that out. All right, so size comparison for the changing table. As you can see, the Barbie is sitting down, and it's the perfect height for her to sit down and change the baby. Obviously, if you want to make this, taller as a regular changing table would be, you can go ahead and put some legs on here, but we're going to just keep it this size, and it's going to be perfect for Barbie to sit down and change the baby. So as you can see, I did go ahead and take those shelves out. And what I did was I put some hot glue in those areas right there so that when you do go back to paint it, it's going to be flat. And also in here, we went ahead and cut those dividers out that was in there for the rolling keyboard, and we took those out and also went ahead and put some hot glue in there as well. And then we went ahead and sanded this whole thing down, which is why it's kind of looking like that with all the gloss off. Now, what I did with the rolling shelf is I ended up putting it on the bottom down here, so nothing went to waste. So that rolling keyboard that was up here, it's on the bottom here to add another shelving for the changing table. So we took the two shelves out here, we took the rolling shelf out up here, and then we put the rolling shelf on the bottom, glued it all in, and then after it's all glued in, sanded it all down. Now we are ready to go ahead and paint. What I did forget to do is show the comparison between this changing table and this changing table before I went ahead and painted it black, but it is now painted black. And we did go ahead and put the sealant on after the paint was dry. So now we can do the comparison. So height wise, it's exactly the same, but we do have some pieces from the Barbie brand, and we also have the mini brands. And as you can see, these items are way too big to fit inside of there. But when you take the shelving out on this, it was a desk, remember? So when you take the shelving out, they are the perfect height to fit into here. So that's another reason to take the shelving out, so that you can have, if you do have like some mini brand things or some Barbie things, these are actually Barbie, these are mini brands, you'll be able to fit those items in there with no problem. So that is the reason why we took the shelving out and is using this one instead of this one. It is longer, but height wise, it is exactly the same. So there is that comparison. So I do have a dollhouse, so that is where this is going to go. So this is not just going to like go to a waste. I do have a dollhouse, and this is the perfect size for the dollhouse pieces, as you can see there. And then here are the two changing tables side by side, so you can see the way a dollhouse one looks and the way a Barbie house size would look. I did go ahead and use a crib mattress from one of the mini brands baby cribs. I used that as the mat for this changing table. So that is what you see on top of there. I got two cribs. I got one in pink and one in green, and then I got a changing table. So I got 3 MiniBabies all together, and I'm going to use this in a dollhouse. I'm going to use the crib padding for one of the cribs on top of here, and then I have an extra green crib that I'm gonna end up putting in the dollhouse as well. So that is what they look like side by side, the Barbie size and then a dollhouse size. Alright, so as you guys know, the MiniBabies will come with either a stroller, a changing table, a crib, or like a little bouncer. Now, there are actually 3 different colors. There's a pale, there's like a darker pale, and then there's a brown baby. Now, the brown babies are the hardest to get. And here are the 3 colors side by side. So we have the pale one. Now these come with the yellow accessories. We have like a darker pale one, and I'm not sure if you can really tell, but this one is actually a little darker than this one. And the darker pale ones, they come with green accessories. The brown babies come with pink accessories. These are the hardest to find, which are the brown ones that come with the pink accessories. For those of you that just want the brown baby and don't really care about, you know, the color accessories, I am going to show you how to dye the pale one and the dark pale one to get a brown baby. Once again, you'll still have the same color accessories, but I'm just going to show you how to get a brown baby since they are the hardest to find. Okay, so this is the dye that I'm using, and I just put I put each of those in its separate little cup here, and I labeled the pale one, and then I labeled the dark pale one. Now you do not have to do this. I was just wanting to see the difference, if there was a difference between dyeing a pale one and then the darker pale colored one. So that's why I just labeled those. And I am using this, and all I did was I just filled these cups up with the Rit Dye More in the color chocolate brown. This now has been sitting for 8 hours because I totally forgot about it. Not sure how long they should sit or if this is even going to work, but they have been sitting for 8 hours, so we'll go ahead and take a look and see what they're looking or anything. So this is the pale one. And then we'll take the darker pale one out, and then we're just going to wash all the brown off of it just to see the final color of them. You do notice a difference in the color right away, but we'll go ahead and wash these off. Alright, and then here they are with all that dye cleaned off of them. This was the pale one, the darker pale one, and this is the original brown one. So I did leave them in for 8 hours, so if you want them to be darker than what they are, I'm just thinking if you leave them in a little longer, they'll come out darker, but I just did 8 hours, and that's what they're looking like compared to the original brown one. Now you can go ahead and paint their hair brown or black or whatever color you want their hair to be. You can do that as well, but that is what they are looking like after 8 hours being in the dye. So that is how you would get a brown baby if you have a darker pale baby or a pale baby. That is how you would dye them to be a darker color, since these are the hardest to find. Alright, and that concludes the end of this video. Thanks for watching.